words get thrown around so much in today's world of business that they've almost become abused words. Those words are growth and change. Growth usually needs change first. Trouble is, too many people think that change is no more complicated than switching a light bulb on. Welcome to this BVTV Global Authentic Alliance Duology, coming to you from the UK studios of BizVision. This is video one, my guest keynote, and I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. There's a very old cartoon showing everyone in a business meeting voting for change, and then nobody voting to be the person to make it happen. Change today is a little bit like playing three-dimensional chess, where you're considering not just the implications of one change, but also the reverberations across the business of that change. And can it be sustainable in today's ever-changing, uncertain world? Now you can grasp and make change work. I have thoroughly enjoyed this. I've got to tell you, I've thoroughly enjoyed this book. Thanks to a great book called The Authentic Alliance, Empowering Sustainable Change in Complex Organizations. So let's meet the author, Crystal Gibson. Hello, Crystal.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so delighted to, because, well, as I've just said, how much I enjoy the book, because the way you write it is very different. It's very refreshing, because you're making us be in the room with you, see it through your eyes, and that just makes it all a lot easier to understand, because change is complex, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it's very personal as well.
Yeah. Crystal, most businesses are littered with a history of failed change initiatives. Those failures have resulted from many reasons, but the biggest, I suggest, and one you so diligently address in your book, is the failure to get people at the heart of the change on board. So all too often, it seems though change is imposed rather than it being authentically cultured by the team making the change. Now, how does your book go about guiding a business to sustainable change?
It really goes into the power of co-creation, the power of self-awareness, and just the ability or the capability for organizations and leaders to be able to bring their teams into the decision-making process so that they don't feel like these changes are happening to them. It's our changes. And then that makes it really sustainable as far as the
Mm.
DNA of the organization is concerned, because, you know, I don't know about you, but when I'm part of the journey, I feel more connected. I feel like I want to add more to what's going on when I'm involved with the updates and I'm involved with how it was created. I feel more proud about the outcomes as well. I really care more about the outcomes when it's me and, people I've built relationships with who have created this together. So it's really the heart of the matter is really just to create those real relationships so that you can co-create and so that you can have shared outcomes across the organization. That's how you make it stick.
Now, before I just said that the cartoon about everybody voting for change, but nobody then wanting to do it. Do you think
Yeah.
that's because they haven't been empowered, or they're frightened that it will go wrong and they will take the blame and get the boot from it?
I think it might be a mixture of both, really, because it's natural to be afraid of change. Some people have different cycles of what they go through when they are faced with change. Some people like are instantly defensive until they know more information. Some people just go with it, and then when they figure out the details, they hesitate. So it's that, and then it's also the empowerment, because leadership has to have some mindset shift when they're doing different changes within the organization. So if you put like a change in place and you have people in these certain roles that are supposed to lead it, you have to actually do what you say that you're going to do and actually
Mhm.
give them the power to do the roles that you put in place for them. Trust them.
Right. Yeah. Well, that is a big problem, isn't it? Because, in America, you had the Great Resignation, and here in the UK and other parts of the world, we've had people changing their jobs because suddenly the pandemic showed many people that their leaders didn't trust them. They didn't
Yeah.
communicate correctly.
Yeah, and I think too, it showed the power of really having like your board, your advisors, the people who like you really trust in the organization and outside of the organization to kind of lead you into different directions. Sometimes people just really kept their relationships or their alliances within the organization. And then when everyone dispersed after COVID, you don't really have those relationships to hold on to. So you have to lean on people outside of your organization too sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. There's a couple of words within the titling of your book that everybody can obviously see behind me, but the couple of words that really sort of grasp me, and a key word, one of the key words there is sustainable change. Now, by that, obviously, I think you're meaning of that, not sustainability, but it's going to be a change that will continue.
Yeah.
Is a problem here that far too many people think that, or leaders let it happen, that change are momentary things. Oh, we'll do this week, and next week we'll do that.
Absolutely, or it depends on how things are structured. So if you have some sort of maybe incentives in place that are at the end of a fiscal year, it might be just the goal is to accomplish this outcome at that time. And then, but what about beyond that time? You know what I mean? So also sometimes when you have people come from like you have vendors or third parties or someone coming in to do a change, they just have a goal on that output, but no one really thinks about the long-term outcome of it. So you kind of need people in the organization who really focus on, all right, how are we going to make this successful? And then how are we going to make sure that we consistently make our customers happy and then make our internal employees happy as well? So it's all about kind of not looking at it from a snapshot of time of a particular output, but what is the long-term outcome that we want? How do we want people to feel?
Yeah. Now, one of the things I said earlier was how much I enjoyed reading your book because of the way that you've written it. So that basically, I'm following you. I'm in your eyes. You're taking me through everything there, and I found that was a really easy way to understand because there's a complex situation. Well, actually, you used the word complex within your titling there. And if unless you start to see something, and especially as the way you brought us through our eyes, then it doesn't look complex, does it? People
Practical.
think that change is simple.
Well, I mean, in order for you to transform something outside of yourself, you have to have it happen internally, right? So that's why I kind of position the book that way of I wanted to share my personal transformation and my clients' personal transformations to show how it impacts the organization that you're in. And when you start, really getting your core in order, it does make it a little easier because you can't really ask people to change if you can't change yourself.
Yeah, well, that's a really good point. Yeah, yeah. But I think that the book, though, makes change easier because of that way that you've written, as opposed to with respect to academics who would make it third party.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's really an internal process because we are, like organisms, so we are like an organization. So the evolution is really similar to me. So if you think of, like an organization similar to a human, then it does make the concept easier because you can relate to it more, right? So
Hmm.
when we're thinking about like us making a big change with the environment that we're in, organizations have to do the same thing. Look at what's happening in the world. They have to adjust
Yeah.
just like we do.
Yeah, yeah, and frightening what's happening in the world, but we'll leave that for another video.
Right, we won't go there, but
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Crystal. Now, let's give our audience details of your URL, your website address. Viewers, you can see it on the screen behind me, but for listeners, let me spell it out for you. It's all the W's dot theauthenticalliance.com. all the w's.theauthenticalliance.com. And Crystal's book is called The Authentic Alliance, Empowering Sustainable Change in Complex Organizations. Go to our website for details. Now, in our second video of this set of BVTV Global Duology, I want to take a deeper dive with Crystal into how change can be achieved in today's ever-changing world. So please now view video 2.